because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
You know, when people are not relevant, you know, and they're not moving units like they was once moving, because you gotta realize this, I've been relevant for 18 years.
So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him.
50 Cent has reignited his long-standing feud with Floyd Mayweather, this time accusing the boxing legend of being a scammer. And when it comes to condemning Floyd Mayweather's behavior, Joe Rogan also weighed in with his thoughts. He suggested that much of the public's dislike for Mayweather stems from his constant and unnecessary flaunting of wealth, something Joe finds more laughable than impressive.
They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit. And he's like, look at my $1 million watch. Look at my jet. Look at my house. Look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed. Like this is $1 million worth of watches.
Joe Rogan believes that Floyd Mayweather's habit of flaunting his wealth, like diamond-covered watches and constant bragging about money, has only created envy and resentment around him. He strongly emphasized that this obsession with materialism is a key factor in what he sees as Mayweather's downfall, even as a fighter.
This watch goes for $2 million, and they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like fucking $5 million. And so you hate him. People hate him.
Floyd Mayweather's attitude has often been cited as a key factor in his decline, and Mike Tyson didn't hold back in echoing that sentiment. Responding to the recent controversy, Tyson pointed out that Mayweather's arrogance has ultimately damaged his character, suggesting that his behavior has finally caught up with him.
But you have to come to reality some way. That you have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be arrogant. Well, you expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
Meanwhile, reflecting on the good times he shared with Floyd Mayweather back in 2002, 50 Cent opened up about how their relationship soured over the years. He pointed to the reasons behind Mayweather's fall from grace, claiming that the once celebrated boxer has lost his shine, and that everybody hates him now.
They don't like him. He knows you don't like him. We've been friends since 2002. There was a point where I'm looking at things and I'm going, yo, China got the wrong message you point. Because we're saying we got all the money in the world, we're gonna burn it, we're gonna get it again. So what? He goes, nah, you do that, Fa. What a prize fighter fight for? And he said, the prize. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him. Everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. The people's champ, like Ali, was standing for the same things the audience was standing for. He doesn't have any of that. It's just money.
Reacting to this, Floyd Mayweather has expressed his anger aimed at 50 Cent. In a recent podcast appearance, he reflected on how their relationship fell apart while 50 Cent was laying down the foundation of the TMT Promotions company.
Actually, a guy, Tommy Summers, who used to be around me, asked me, I guess he went to 50 Cent and asked 50 Cent about getting involved in boxing. You know, I was doing time, I read the newspaper. It said that, congratulations to, 50 Cent for wanting to get the boxing license for TMT Promotions.
Floyd even accused 50 Cent of attempting to launch a boxing promotion company aimed at tarnishing the legacy of Al Heyman. He asserted that despite having no interest at all in that promotional company, 50 Cent has tried his best to drag him into it.
And I said when I got out, me and 50 Cent was riding in my Lamborghini one day, and he said, what about, I got the promotion company, basically trying to remove Al Heyman. It took me from 1987 to now, to build my brand. I said, I don't want nothing from G Unit.
On the other hand, 50 Cent claims he was never truly interested in promoting fighters. He emphasized that the real reason he shut down his boxing promotion company was due to his falling out with Floyd Mayweather. He further accused Floyd of paying $300,000 to Yuriorkis Gamboa unnecessarily to chill aside at a time when Floyd was facing potential jail time.
You had a boxing promotion company once.
Yeah.
What happened with the boxing promotion company?
That really happened, Ken, because of my relationship with Floyd. You know what I mean? I didn't have interest in being a promoter like out the gate. It was just, he was doing Mayweather promotions at the time, and then he had to do 90 days. He was going to jail. And he had fighters, he had Yuriorkis Gamboa, he had guys that was just lingering. I'm like, champ, if they're gonna leave. You go to jail, they're just gonna leave. And he had been giving him 50,000 and 50,000 and 50,000. So he had already gave Gamboa about 300,000 to chill on the side. And then we ended up, when he did go in, I ended up picking up all the fighters.
In response, Floyd Mayweather didn't hold back in his criticism of 50 Cent. He claimed that 50 is no longer relevant in the boxing world, while he himself continues to be a prominent figure. Mayweather also pointed out that while the rapper boasts about certain luxuries in his music, he refuses to acknowledge that Floyd is actually living that lifestyle.
You know, when people are not relevant, you know, and they're not moving units like they was once moving, because you gotta realize this, I've been relevant for 18 years.
That you think they use your name to advance that when they have a little lull in sales?
I mean, absolutely. You know, I don't have anything to say about negative about any hip hop artist. You know, a lot of times you see, like I said, a lot of these rap artists rap about certain things.
Meanwhile, an irate 50 Cent lashed out at Floyd Mayweather, reminding him of the support he offered while Floyd was in jail. He stressed that Mayweather had scammed him, claiming he borrowed $2 million but never paid it back after his release.
As he was going into jail, he asked me to help him with Mayweather promotion. Signed the actual fighters. We had acquisition of Gamboa, Andre Durrell, IBF champion, Billy Dib. I brought him over while Floyd was incarcerated. Then he comes home, let's get Floyd back in pocket. $300,000 chains, new Lamborghini, and I'm sitting there going, when you gonna give me the money? But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail.
Are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that. When he finally does bring up the actual situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. I didn't tell y'all to do that. And I'm looking at him and he looked in my face and he didn't tell me to do that.
This comes as a real shock to Floyd Mayweather, who appears visibly irritated by the fact that a longtime friend has now become a bitter rival. Reflecting on the good memories he once shared with 50 Cent, Floyd opened up about how their relationship gradually unraveled. He also expressed confusion and disappointment over the sudden shift in 50's attitude, calling the changes in their dynamic both bizarre and unexpected.
And I said, you know, we friends, we got a great relationship. We can keep it like that, you know. No hard feelings, no grudge. I don't know if he got upset. One day I just seen on the internet, it was like, look what 50 said. I'm like, he said 50 said something about you. I'm like, no, that's my family. I'm with this man together every day.
Right.
I just never understood where all this.
At the same time, Floyd Mayweather hasn't stayed silent in the face of these accusations. He fired back at 50 Cent, accusing him of riding his charisma for years before suddenly distancing himself. Mayweather claimed that 50 Cent wanted half of his company, and when he refused, that's when the feud truly began.
You can't hang out with me every day for years, then all of a sudden, if I don't give you half of my company, now it's, oh, you're dumb and you're stupid and you can't do this and you can't do that. But if I can't do all these things, why are you hanging around me? That's all I'm trying to ask. If I'm such a person that don't know certain things and I'm not that sharp, why you want to be around me every day?
In response to Floyd Mayweather questioning why he stayed around him, 50 Cent fired back, calling out what he described as Floyd's confused and delusional state of mind. He claimed that Mayweather had lost touch with his true self and had to pay people to stay in his circle. According to 50, the legacy Floyd boasts about is not earned, but rather borrowed and handed to him through favoritism.
He was going through a lot of confusion, you know, that experience. Like for Floyd, he doesn't like to be by himself. You know, he takes care of people, he pays people to keep them around him. Like the people there, they functioning, they just give them money. It's an army of people just waiting for you to feel like today's the day, you're generous.
50 Cent didn't hold back when speaking on Floyd Mayweather's ambitions and mindset. He questioned Floyd's long-term vision and suggested his motivations were rooted more in rivalry than purpose. According to 50, Floyd's constant need to compete has clouded his judgment. He used a boxing metaphor to drive his point home as he said, "I look at his endgame, and honestly, I just hope he makes it, even if his only motivation is thinking he's in competition with me. But let me tell you, trying to land an upper hook and a left cross at the same time, time. That's a tough job, man. While speaking about the joint venture involving a boxing promotion company with Floyd Mayweather, 50 Cent laid everything bare. He claimed that Mayweather's promotional company wasn't truly operational, and instead it existed only as a name on paper. He went on to allege that Oscar De La Hoya was actually the one pulling the strings behind the scenes, handling most of the deals and decisions.
Originally, that venture was something that came up as a joint venture with me and Floyd. And he asked me to run Mayweather Promotions. And it wasn't until he was actually in, because this is the morning of him going to jail. So as he went in, I realized that Mayweather Promotions is just the name on the checking account. That, you know, all of the things in Floyd's promotion is primarily dealt with by Golden Boy, and it's not an actual company that he could do things under.
Backing up 50 Cent's claims, Oscar De La Hoya emphasized that he played a pivotal role in Floyd Mayweather's career. He asserted that not only was he instrumental in shaping Mayweather's success, but also revealed that under his Golden Boy Promotions banner, he consistently promoted 16 of Mayweather's fighters over the years.
Well, look, what people don't understand and know, or maybe forget, I promoted Floyd's 16 fights, roughly, when we were building him. You know, he was under Golden Boy Promotions, and obviously I own Golden Boy Promotions.
Right. Was that after Top Rank?
That was right after Top Rank.
Okay.
And so we got him the Ricky Hand fight. We positioned him to fight.
As criticism towards Floyd Mayweather continues to mount, Chael Sonnen has stepped in to share his perspective. He recounted a story claiming that Mayweather was once held in Dubai due to unresolved financial issues. According to Sonnen, Floyd had outstanding debts related to an event where he failed to pay the participating athletes.
I do personally believe and feel comfortable in letting you know that Floyd is being held in Dubai. He's being held for debt. He did not pay a debt. That story has then been pulled in a couple of different directions, but the current one going around goes something like this. Floyd held an event in Dubai. Floyd did not pay the athletes.
The reported debt, allegedly totaling $18 million, raised serious concerns from Chael Sonnen. He highlighted how difficult it must be for Floyd Mayweather to manage such a massive unpaid amount. Sonnen noted that with Mayweather already entangled in other controversies, navigating this situation in real time could prove to be an even greater challenge.
You're in a very, very tough spot to come up with $18 million. And while Floyd's net worth is grossly exaggerated, he could come up with 18 million. He could, through collateral, he could leverage and come up with the finances of 18 million. But if he's held in Dubai, he's not in Nevada to do that. It makes for a very tricky situation. And that's the update on Floyd.
Amid the ongoing controversies and his rivalry with 50 Cent, Floyd Mayweather is now facing bankruptcy rumors and growing public backlash, as the court has reportedly slammed him over a $402 million scam. This controversy follows his much publicized investment in New York apartments, which he frequently bragged about as part of his push into the real estate business.
I feel like you can't go wrong with New York real estate. So what I did was, in one of my portfolios, because I don't know the exact number, because they said if you know how much money you got, you really don't have no money. So if you know how many buildings you got, you don't really have no buildings. So I think I own right now somewhere upwards of 100 buildings or more. And in 99% of my buildings are in New York City.
Meanwhile, new reports are casting doubt on Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s claim of investing in a $42 million Manhattan apartment portfolio. Just a month after he announced the deal, Business Insider revealed no such transaction appears to have taken place. Mayweather had claimed he acquired 62 rental buildings in Upper Manhattan. Now the legitimacy of that claim is under serious scrutiny.
Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan.
At the same time, Floyd Mayweather has reportedly made a major move into real estate, with media outlets claiming he spent over $400 million acquiring dozens of NYC apartment buildings. Business Insider clarified that he did ink a $42 million deal tied to the Black Spruce portfolio. Mayweather stated the investment was solely funded by him, with no outside investors backing his share. Despite initial doubts, the deal appears legitimate, though the full scope remains under media scrutiny.
So, according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before.
Amid this, 50 Cent is once again taking jabs at Floyd Mayweather. The rapper took to Instagram to highlight growing skepticism around Mayweather's bold real estate claims. Reigniting their long-running feud, he shared a pointed video mocking Mayweather's viral statement that he owns 99% of New York's apartment buildings. 50 Cent shared the video with a caption that reads, "Over 100 buildings and 99% in New York. Lowell that cap, champ, we should slap the shit out of you." Blasting Floyd Mayweather with sharp criticism, 50 Cent claimed that the alleged scam has severely tarnished Mayweather's legacy. He pointed out that many people dislike Floyd because of his constant bragging about money. 50 Cent accused him of lacking core values, saying that Mayweather has always prioritized wealth over substance, a mindset that, in his view, has now come back to haunt him.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money.
As rumors swirl about Floyd Mayweather facing bankruptcy, 50 Cent has jumped in, throwing more fuel on the fire. He sarcastically suggested that Mayweather should consider returning to the ring now that his fortune is allegedly gone. Taking the mockery further, 50 joked that Floyd might even resort to hosting nightclubs just to stay afloat.
Out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah. That's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
It took, it's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like, you call him, he'll be at your, your local hosting in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
While the world remains dazzled by Floyd Mayweather's constant flaunting of wealth, 50 Cent isn't buying into the hype. He insisted that Mayweather isn't nearly as rich as he portrays himself to be, claiming that the millions he brags about are just light money gained through scamming people across various ventures.
Does Floyd Mayweather, is he as rich as we think he is?
No.
So when we see the $1 million in the bag,
that money, light money, like he can get his hands on that.
On the other hand, Floyd Mayweather appears unfazed by the swirling headlines. In a recent interview, he stated that he's focused on bigger things in his life and confirmed that Ice Cube is involved with him in his New York real estate ventures. This revelation has raised eyebrows, potentially dragging Ice Cube into the growing controversy surrounding the alleged scam.
I had a few meetings. I'm doing some movies with Ice Cube. Real estate business in New York City with SL Green, right. Billionaire tycoons.
At the same time, Stephen A. Smith, who helped bring attention to the alleged scam involving Floyd Mayweather, shared his reaction. Expressing sadness and disappointment, he admitted he hadn't expected such behavior from someone he once held in high regard. His remarks clearly hinted at Mayweather's reputation taking a serious hit amid the $402 million scam controversy.
I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather.
Criticizing Floyd Mayweather's false claims about his property acquisitions, Stephen A. Smith called out the behavior as unworthy of a fighter of Mayweather's caliber. He stressed that while there's nothing wrong with making money, something Floyd has mastered, resorting to scams to do so is unacceptable. Under these circumstances, he asserted that kind of money-making must come to an immediate end.
Which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never gonna stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop.
While the world is stunned by reports of Floyd Mayweather facing bankruptcy, 50 Cent isn't the least bit surprised. He openly claimed he had seen it coming long ago, asserting that Floyd's reckless spending and attitude would eventually catch up with him. According to 50, Mayweather's downfall was inevitable, and the consequences for his survival could be grim. He's been warning about Floyd's risky future for years.
Now, to this day, right now, I could tell when Floyd is broke. I could tell when the money gets low, because he'll start doing nightclub appearances. The gambling done set in, and if you got 30 million in one fight and you got 40 million in the next, lifestyle eat it up.
Meanwhile, 50 Cent's pursuit of accusations against Floyd Mayweather shows no signs of slowing down. He recently claimed that Mayweather has failed to pay $70 million in taxes. Taking it a step further, 50 warned that the IRS is now on his trail due to this unresponsiveness, stressing that the situation has become increasingly difficult for Mayweather to manage.
And it's tough because you didn't pay taxes on $70 million. And the IRS is backstage at the boxing match saying, oh, you're gonna pay tonight.
So viewers, that was all for today. From $1 million scams to long-standing beefs, the drama between 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather just keeps heating up, with accusations flying, reputations on the line, and even Ice Cube's name thrown in the mix. This is one story that's far from over. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on? Until next time, stay tuned.